Trust me, Jordan. Let me tell you something, girl.
Mm.
If I had the money, do you think I would have went to go do Big Brother? I would have been living my life of moving to Florida, and I have money in the bank, and daddy's making money off this video game and all that. No, that's
Yeah.
not the case.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Do I Know You? I'm so happy to see you. I hope you're well. I hope you're feeling whole and complete. And if you're not, I'm holding space for that too. I'm so happy that you're here. This week, we have such a special treat. Our guest is quite the TV personality. He is larger than life. Some know him as Big D, others know him as Derek Frazier. If you are a reality TV fiend like me, you already know his name. Derek was on the historic season of Big Brother. That's BB23. They started the Cookout Alliance, which is the very first all Black alliance in this show, and it led to the first Black winner. And Derek was the runner up. He is absolutely incredible. The reason I invited Derek on the show is because he is a star and he fits the criteria of Do I Know You, in that his dad is a complete legend. He is the heavyweight boxing champion of the world, and he actually gave Muhammad Ali his first professional loss. And that is the one and only Smokin Joe, Joe Frazier. So, what I really wanted to get at with Derek, with Big D, is this sense of being defined by not just one thing, but allowing yourself to be multidimensional. And Derek is getting this from multiple sides, right? On one end, he's getting it from Big Brother. Like, of course, when you leave a reality TV show, it's like, oh, so and so from that show. But he's just shown us that he's so much more than that. And then also on the Do I Know You front, so many people are trying to define him as just Joe Frazier's son, when he's also trying to explain, and like live his life in a way that shows like, sure, I carry my father's legacy and I honor that, but I also make it my own and I make it personal to me. And I just think that's beautiful. My wish for the end of this episode is that you feel empowered to allow yourself to just take up every space that you feel called to be in, to take up every identity that you feel called to. For me, that's being a daughter of God, like Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, period. Don't play with it. And that's like my first identity. I'm also a Black woman, and that's something I take a lot of pride in. I'm also a host. I'm also a corporate girly. Like, I want to allow myself to be all of these things and not be pigeonholed into one area. And that's what I want for you as well. Because that's how God made us. So, period. Who are we to mess with God's design? Okay, with that, I love you all so much. Please enjoy my friend, Big D. Big D, welcome to Do I Know You. I'm so happy to have you.
Hi, Jordan. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I'm
Oh,
ready to get into it. I know
honey.
this is long overdue,
And
and I'm
is.
so sorry for the delay, but I am here and ready to go, girl.
No, you don't need to be sorry. Like, honestly, I feel like y'all, before we were getting on, we were like chatting and we were like, oh, we need to say that for the show. Or like, oh, we need to hold on this. So I just feel like your energy through the screen is just giving me everything I need right now.
Oh, thank you, Jordan.
And
Thank
you
you.
look amazing. The skin's popping, like
Thank you so
going
much.
crazy.
Thank you. I have been working hard. I'm gonna say between 50 to 60 pounds down at this point. I don't want to give everybody the exact number because I'm waiting to the end of the year. But yeah, I've been working hard since March
Ooh.
and beginning of March. I've been in the gym. I've been in the gym, girl. I'm putting in
Oh
the
my
work. I'm putting in.
gosh.
Well, I'm coming back for I like to say it's my comeback. It really is my
Mhm.
comeback. Like I'm coming back to remind myself that I have a superpower that I just need to
Wow.
unlock.
Wow. Okay, I was gonna ask what
Yeah.
sparked this journey. It just
Oh
feels
my
like
God.
you're like in your bag right now.
To be honest with you, Jordan, I went through a little bit of depression. I went through a bad
Mhm.
friendship breakup.
Mhm.
It was very hard for me. People that I felt like my friends end up like, just cutting me, and it's okay. Like, I was wrong in the situation. The other person was wrong in the situation. We just went
Mhm.
our separate ways, and I don't wish them no ill. I
Yeah.
still got love for them. If they die, I'll show up to their funeral. If they get
Yeah.
married, congratulations, everything. I always want to see people win that were part of my life. But I went through that phase and I remember just being like, just I was at my lowest. I felt
Mm.
like there was nobody there for me. And I remember going to the doctors, and the doctor was like, "You're this close to being
Mm.
a diabetic." And I already have high blood pressure. I've had it since I was 12 years old. My
Mm.
dad, being the boxer who he is, had diabetes, had
Okay.
had all that stuff. Okay, ran in our family. So I remember just being like, I'm a hypochondriac. I read everything on WebMD. I'm
Okay.
thinking I'm
Google Doc.
dying. So I'm like, I don't need to go underneath a knife. I don't need to deal with, everything that comes with it. I'm 32, and I just felt like everything that, like, when I had the breakup with the friendship, and I went to the doctors, and I found out I was at the heaviest I've probably ever been in my life. I stepped on
Wow.
the scale, and it was like 409.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Mm.
And I remember just being like, what am I gonna do? And it was like, you know what? I'm cutting out everything. I quit smoking. I was smoking cigarettes for a couple years. I quit smoking in January. That was the first thing. And then
Wow. Congratulations.
thank you so much. And then I was like, you know what? It's time. So now
Mm.
um I'm sitting between a good 348 to 355, depending on the day.
Okay. And it do depend.
So yeah, so I just been working hard. I'm just like, I really want it. And when you do TV, Jordan, and I'm so sorry if I'm talking too much, but
No, you're not.
you when you do TV, you look at yourself, you're in this limelight, people are judging you constantly. You're not saying you got to keep up with everybody's doing, but when you're a public figure, you want to be marketable. Not
Mm.
saying you can't be big and be marketable, because I'm still going to be a big guy. I never want to be a stick figure.
Period.
Never. Okay. I don't want to be somebody who will draw and it takes about 5 seconds to do.
All right.
I want you to take your time. I got curves and thighs and all that. So for
Period.
me, I remember just being like, if I take this time to put something into myself. I've always been all about everybody else, making sure everybody else is good, and bending over backwards, looking at my friends, doing all this type of stuff. And I was like, you know what? It's time for me to invest in me, so then
Mm.
I can find love within myself. Because when you go through anybody that goes through a breakup, through relationship, friendship, family, whatever, it's all the same type of heartbreak.
Yeah.
And when you go through it, it just I was at my lowest, and I was just like, I got to get out of this. And it was tough,
Wow.
because I want to be able to do more. I
Yep.
want to be able to feel like an athlete. I come from an athlete father. I played sports in high school, but it was like, it's
Mm.
time. It's time. So yeah,
Wow.
that's where I'm at now. I'm so in my, as they call it, the kids call it nowadays, in my bag.
And you're Duffy, honey. Yes, you are. No, like
Thank you.
seriously, I mean, I told you before. First of all, thank you for sharing that.
No, thank you for inviting me, by the way. And congratulations on everything you've been
Thank you,
doing. And
babe.
I know we talked a little bit beforehand, but I just want to tell you, keep going, because you never know who will be in front of this screen, okay? Little
Woo.
old me
Well,
ain't
look
on the
at you.
level.
You're here. I
Girl.
win.
Uh-uh. Based on your brother, I'm low, bottom of the
Don't
barrel.
do that. Don't do that. Like, okay, there's a lot to say based on what you just said. And this is
Yeah.
great because a lot of the questions I have for you are very aligned. But
Okay.
I want Do I Know You to be a space for siblings and children of celebrities, whether
Okay.
they're in the spotlight or they've never given an interview in their lives. Like, I want
Love that.
this to be their space. I want them to feel like the stars. So you are the star to me. I'm so happy you're here.
Oh,
And
thank you.
your vulnerability is your power, and that's what the show is all about. So let's get into it. I know you grew up
Okay.
in Philly. I'm in
Yes.
Chicago. We're like kind of neighbors. I need you to slide through Chicago. I don't know what you're doing.
Hold on now, girl. I was there a couple months ago, and I went there for in case the fans or viewers or whoever's listening or watching, when you do these shows like Big Brother and CBS, and The Amazing Race, and now they got the
Everything.
Summit coming out, and the Challenge, and all these other shows, and Traders, and all this stuff.
Ooh.
They have watch parties. So I
Mm.
went to the Survivor watch party.
Oh,
Bryce and Wendell present. They do all the Survivor parties. Is amazing.
oh.
I went to Chicago, and then also keep in mind, just in case the viewers want to know, Ozza does all the Big Brother watch parties.
Oh,
So
cute.
if you're ever looking to go to like a watch party, meet some of the players and stuff like that, check out their Instagrams. But I went there and I drove because if some people don't know, I hate flying.
Do
I
you?
I hate flying. I'll do it if I have to. Like when they threw me on the plane for Big Brother, girl, they blindfold me, Jordan.
What?
They put me on the plane. Yes.
Are
Oh,
you lying?
that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation. The
Okay,
process.
we'll come back to this. We'll
Yeah,
come
we'll
back to the
come back to
blindfold.
that. But, so I told my friend, I was like, you know what? I wanted to go see one of my best friends who I do the podcast with. I have a
Mm.
podcast called The Royalty on the Heavy
Her.
Network with me and Tiffany Mitchell and Hannah Chada that are from the same seasons of me.
Yeah.
And we recap all the reality shows.
Mm.
So, what happened was I said, you know what? I'm going to Chicago. I've never been to Tiffany's place. She always told me, you got everywhere else. You never. I said, I'm gonna drive to Detroit. I'm making a whole trip. So I drove to Detroit,
Oh,
stayed with her for a little bit, 2 days, and then I went to Chicago and did the Survivor event. Chicago was amazing. I loved
it's a
it. I
vibe.
just felt like not saying I didn't feel like I like there was so much to do, but I felt like I had a little bit of time. But I definitely need to come back for a longer time where I can
Yes.
see it. And there's somewhere to be honest, Jordan, I wouldn't mind living. But if I'm gonna do it, I gotta make sure I have the coin. I ain't got
And
the coin.
it's that simple. It's
Right,
that
because I'm
simple.
I'm very bougie. I want to live in a nice place. So I told myself the first thing on my checklist, get the weight together. We're gonna get the weight together,
Mm.
we're gonna come in routine, we're gonna build a routine, we're gonna do great, and then everything else will start falling in line.
Yeah.
Opportunity, money, branding,
Yes.
everything else. So
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
just rebranding myself and coming back because I know I have I'm me, my personality. I just want to do more. So
Yes. And that's so valid. It reminds me, I'm Christian, and it reminds me of this verse.
yes,
Jesus
Christian, come on. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy
and the Holy
Spirit.
Ghost.
Amen.
Okay. Okay. We
Okay.
locked in right now.
Same
There's
here.
that verse.
I'm Baptist, so my family, I'm all about, the Lord.
Brother,
So I'm
locked
very thankful for
in. See
him.
you in heaven. Thank you, Jesus.
Thank
But it does
you.
remind me of that verse where Jesus is like, seek first the kingdom of God and then everything else will come. Like, if you focus on the right things, of course, everything else is going to fall in line, where you want to live, all that stuff. And so I think that's beautiful. Next time you're in Shy, please text me. I'll give you my number. I
Oh, I
need to,
will.
we need to run this
Yes.
back. But I
Yes.
want to make sure we're hitting on your journey because, child, we could talk about Chicago forever. So, you grew up in Philly. You're in Philly now,
Yes.
and you're the youngest of 11. Is that correct?
Yes. I'm the
Oh my
11. I
gosh.
am. Yes. So there's about 6 boys, 5 girls. Unfortunately,
Dang.
I've lost 3 of my siblings over the
Oh, I'm
time. So now
sorry.
there's a total of 9 of us, if my math is correct.
Okay.
Um, so I'm the youngest. I'm the baby. I'm the one where people are
Baby.
like, "Oh, who's this? He had another kid. Oh, his son is
Holy.
gay. Oh, it can't be his son. It can't be." And I'm like, well, I think about 6 boys. The rest of them are straight. I think it's okay if one of them is gay, and I don't think the problem
well,
is.
so this actually leads me perfectly into my question. So I heard you say it's very
Yes.
stressful being a Frasier, and
Woo!
you said
Oh
I
my
don't think
God, did
people
I really
understand.
say that? Did I say that on Instagram? I did.
Babes, you said it because I'm a host. I be stalking. I know what's going on. But it's no, but this is the perfect platform to talk about it. So
Yeah.
I noticed in your Instagram comments, I forget what post, but in one of them, people were being super homophobic. It's probably many, but
It's
in
the
one,
it's the podcast I just did.
is it?
Not that
Okay.
serious podcast, which is a great group of guys that I
Yes.
went over. They live over in Jersey, and it was my first time meeting them, and we had a ball, which I will be going back to them soon. I'm a little
Period.
nervous, but like the comments were wild.
They were wild. And you were like, hold up, like, don't
Yeah.
get it twisted. I clap back. And I'm wondering if a lot of that is based on, people projecting what they believe Joe Frazier's son should look like. What do you think
Yeah.
about that?
I think it's absolutely ridiculous, right?
Mm,
Because here's the thing. The one thing about my dad, if my dad had about 6 sons, okay?
mm,
2 of them maybe were like close, maybe close to my dad's frame, but
mm,
all the rest of his sons were big men.
mm.
It's just what it is. And that's just That's just the southern side, okay, of my dad's
Mm.
side of the family. But I will say this, I think it's ridiculous because the thing about it is that my dad never wanted me to be a boxer. I tried amateur when I was young.
Wow.
No, that's what I think. That's what people don't understand. People don't understand. Even my brother Marvis, who's the oldest out of all of us, he
Mm.
told he my dad he went into boxing, and my dad told him, "This ain't for you. I'm telling you, don't need to be doing it. You don't need to be." Not my ring like trying to fall right
Oh,
now. Like,
not trying to embarrass you right now.
excuse me.
What?
Like we're talking. Thank you. Um, but like, he said, I don't want you doing this. This is not the right field for you. I don't think you should go into this. And my brother didn't listen because you feel that pressure of when you have a parent in a certain business that you have to follow into that certain business. And that's not the case at all. Trust
Mm.
me, my dad sat me down multiple times. I don't want you in the gym. I don't want you in the gym. I want you to go get a college degree. I want you to go do
Mm.
what you want to go do. I don't want you in this field. This field is not good. This field is toxic. It's this, and that. My
Mm.
brother went through it. My sister went through it. And then my other brother who passed away went through it. And he said the same thing. He didn't want his kids having to fight. He
Mm.
wanted to fight. That's something he wanted to do. But people don't
Mm.
understand that. They think because when you have a celebrity parent or brother or sister or what relative that you're supposed to follow in their footsteps.
Yep.
That's not the case. Just like you got Beyonce, I don't expect Blue Ivy to sit here and become Beyonce. No, whatever
She's
she
Blue
decides
Ivy.
to do, right, whatever she wants to do, she'll do.
Yep.
But people take an example. You got LeBron James. He's playing with his son for the
Yep.
first time, right? That's the first time in the history of basketball, if I'm correct, that's ever happened.
Yeah.
Great. But he also has other kids. Is his other kids going to do the same exact thing? Probably not. They might end up and go do something else. So I
Right.
think it's crazy that also another problem that we have in the world that people are homophobic. Okay.
Mm.
That is a big issue.
Yeah.
Just because I am gay, and I want to make this clear, and I'm gonna say this as nicely as possible, as kidly as possible too. Don't think that I will not put my foot far up your back end and let you have it. And then you sitting there waking up the next day going, wow, what happened? Oh, I swung on Joe Frazier's son. Oh, that was interesting. I should have never done that. Don't
Please.
ever think that. Just because I am gay does
Mm.
not make me more or less masculine or anything like that. Tell you the truth, me being gay pushes me to want to do more of being
Mm.
strong and being prepared for anything that's thrown at me. So
Mm.
I just find it interesting because as you saw those comments, it was just disgusting to see
It
that,
was.
we're in 2024. Times has changed. The only person that's going to judge any of us is the Lord above or whoever you believe in your higher power above is the only person that's there to judge. You should not judge me because I'm not judging you. So it's
Amen to
just
that.
very interesting to see that. But the thing about it is that my dad always loved me for me. He
Mm.
always supported everything I did, every acting show I did. I was an actor. My dad knew I wanted to sing and act. He
Mm.
went to my plays. My mom is very supportive of me. God bless my mother, because she always
Wow.
gets my butt if I don't talk about her. My mother
No,
is
we need to highlight
absolutely
both.
fabulous.
Both made you. Period.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, so my mother works hard. She's a wonderful mother, and
Yeah.
her and my father were great to me as me growing up. But to kind of go back to what you were saying, when it comes to my Frazier family, it's very stressful. Um,
Mm.
a lot of people don't know because I don't really get a chance to talk about it as much.
Mm.
Um, but my dad passed away in 2011,
Mm.
as they say, due to stomach cancer.
Mm.
And my dad has so many people in his corner. He had people editing wills, different lawyers, different agents, people taking money out of his pocket, not,
Yep.
doing the rights and the copyrights correctly. So, you look at somebody, which I have to compare because it's the only comparison I have. You look at someone like Muhammad Ali, who's had movies and documentaries and all
Yeah.
these other opportunities. His kids are all set up. That's not the case. What happened with the Frazier kids? Everybody
Mm.
was dibble dabbling, messing up things, selling rights, not doing things correctly when he was alive, and making sure he set himself up correctly because he trusted people. He was such a good person that he would, Jordan, he didn't even know you, girl. he'll trust you and think it's okay for you to read his contract and make sure he's
Yeah.
correctly. And that's the problem. That also came with old age, and that also came with not having the correct people around his corner. And I'm also young. I haven't
Yeah.
got to the age I'm at now. Because if I was at the age I'm at now and he was alive, things will be different.
Right. Right.
So, unfortunately, those things happen. And my brothers and sisters, we have been fighting for years. Everyone's
Wow.
always fighting um, to be the child, to be the center of attention. And the thing about it is that my dad always taught us to love each other, but we're fighting over dust, Jordan, to be honest. The
Mm.
things we're fighting over dust and a man who's in the grave when there's nothing. There's
Wow.
nothing. There's no money. There's no nothing. So, to kind of go back to what happened, you know, I don't like when my nieces get involved with my brothers and sisters' drama because they're my nephew and nieces. So
Yeah.
anytime there's a niece involved, I get very frustrated. And then when we're fighting each other, taking each other to court, trying to pick
Oh.
people off of certain things and certain roles and things like that, fighting over dust, Jordan,
Wow.
fighting over dust at this point, where it makes me frustrated because what the siblings should do, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but what the siblings should do, get your ass up and make a name for yourself and take what
Mm.
daddy gave you and take that name and do something like I
Mm.
did. And I made a name for myself.
Mm.
So it's
Let
like
me
go
let
through
me
your own thing. Yes, please, Jordan,
yes,
jump
let
in.
me ask really quick. So,
Yes.
thank you for sharing this one. I feel like
Yeah.
what I'm hearing is this like two things. One, this idea that, people probably assume because you're Joe Frazier's son that you're super wealthy, super rich, you got it
Oh,
handed to you, all this stuff, right? And so one, I hear you just debunking that, period.
oh, absolute baby.
Yeah.
Absolutely not true. No,
Yeah.
not
Misconception.
living that lavish life. Don't have my own plane. Not getting invited to the A-list parties with the celebrity kids and stuff like that. None of that at
Which
all.
is so okay, but it's just such a
Yeah.
misconception. I think that like your family's money is your money, and that's just simply not the case. Two, what
Yes,
I hear
that
you say, you agree.
yeah.
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 So the thing about it that I think people don't understand is that just because you have a celebrity parent does not mean that you automatically, unless they did it correctly, our royalties were not set up correctly. My dad, throughout the years, even when he was alive, was not getting the same credit and the same opportunities as Ali, Informant, and the rest of them. He was
Mm,
not getting those same type of royalties and those same type of deals. So what can he set up?
right.
What can you set
Right.
up for his children or opportunities? So
Mm,
people don't understand that. Trust me, Jordan. Let me tell you something, girl.
mm.
If I had the money, do you think I would have went to go do Big Brother? I would have been living my life of moving to Florida, and I have money in the bank, and daddy's making money off this video game and all that. No, that's
Yeah.
not the case.
Yeah.
So that's what blows my mind when it comes to my siblings and my Frazier family. What are we fighting for? We can't even
Mm.
get together, Jordan, to be honest, to even sit down and make a proper movie. Foreman has had a
Wow.
movie. Ali has had a movie. Where's Frazier's movie?
Some things are no family is perfect, and that's something I've
Oh,
learned in my life over and over. Like no matter how it looks, no one's perfect. But some things it's like
yeah.
there's so much division. It's like God, only you can take this. Like for real. Like only you can solve this. And God doesn't desire a discord for us. He
Of
desires
course.
unity for us. So I'm going to be praying for real. And I want to make sure we talk about just like more about your journey. And I saw that you said, so you talked a little bit about,
Yes.
your dad didn't want you to be a boxer, and just growing up, like you had a bunch of different maybe
Yep.
forces and influences coming at you. And I heard you say that when you were 11 or 12, your
Oh
dad
God.
hit you with that KO.
Ooh.
Can you please tell us this story? I want to get into Big Brother, but I have to hear this story on Do I Know You?
Okay, so there was I think we all go through it, right? We all have a moment of feeling like what's the word? Like, oh, our parents are getting on our nerves. Like, I'm old enough, I
Oh, of
could take
course.
them. I'm tired of getting my butt kicked. I'm getting a bunch of butt whoopings. I'm tired. I'm
Yes.
ready. So,
Were
one
you a
day,
bad kid? Were you
oh, I was a little bit of a bad kid. I was
okay.
not too bad, not like, oh my God, like you don't have control of your child. No, because my parents both whipped my butt constantly.
Right. But you would like
Mom
push the
and
limit.
dad. Right, right. I would push the limits, stay out a little bit late, do whatever, talk back, stuff like
Right.
that. So one day, my dad also, what I don't think people understand is that I had the older side of Joe Frazier. So it's like he
Mhm.
wasn't like
Yeah.
the heavyweight champion at the time. He was walking around with a cane. So I'm
Right. That's
like,
interesting.
man, I'll knock you out, Dad. So he's like, all right, let's get in the ring. Mind you, my dad also taught me. So like I know how to
Mhm.
hold my hands. I know something, but I'm only like 11. I think I'm 11 or 12 at this point. So you're at a certain height. I'm
Mhm.
about close to his height at this point. I'm like, all right, let's do the damn thing. So we go in. He doesn't wear headgear. I wear headgear. And my dad always told me throw a jab out there. He's like, always keep a jab. So I throw jab, jab. But of course, I dropped this hand down while I'm doing the jab, and he just
Woo!
blocked me, and I fell asleep.
Okay,
He took
this
me home.
just shows people always think that's the other thing. Like you're babied, oh, you
Yeah,
live this soft life. Your dad was knocking you out.
yeah. Let me tell you something. My dad gave me some butt whippings. I didn't have no easy life and stuff like that. Let me tell you something. From a stick to an extension cord to a punch to a backhand, no matter what. That's why my dad, and I'm very thankful for the type of lifestyle that I live because it taught me discipline. But
Hmm.
he also knew that he could let me when I got to a certain age, like when I got to 16 and 15 and all those other ages. He wasn't worried about me going out in the streets of Philadelphia. He knew I wasn't going to do nothing stupid, you
Mm,
know. But the reason
absolutely.
why, he also my mother it was my mother's idea. My mother was like, she's working, he's traveling. I needed some more discipline, and they sent me off to military school, and that helped me a
Oh,
lot because I had the street smarts. Because I was,
outside a little bit.
I was a little bit outside doing some stuff I shouldn't be
That's
doing,
all
didn't get
right.
caught, but did some stuff I shouldn't be doing. But when I did that, it taught me a lot of how people move in the streets. I learned that street smart, everything. I went to Catholic school. I didn't go to public school, but I still lived in the hood. So I would take the
Mm,
bus. See, people don't even know that. I took the public transportation,
mm,
okay, like every day from like my godmother's house, going to Catholic school, coming back to back to the hood, going to the white area to be in
wow. Yeah.
Catholic school, but I still hung out, as I call them, my players in the hood, learning stuff. Okay.
Right.
And like I said, as I got older, it was just Philadelphia is rough. Just like I know Detroit's rough, Chicago's rough, these areas, these
Yep.
cities are rough, New
Yep.
York, all that. So, my parents were like, they were just scared that they didn't want me to get caught the wrong time, wrong place. And,
Mm,
people get, it's sad to say, but people get shot. Things
yeah,
happen.
absolutely.
My parents were like, we're going to send you to military school, give you some more discipline. And I was very thankful for that. And I still have my relationship with my dad. I still have a relationship with my mom, but I was very thankful because now I've already got the street smarts. Now I'm learning that business side, that
Mm,
side of how to talk in front of people, how to hold yourself, how to be accountable, how to be on your own. So when it came time for college, I remember my dad moved me into college. It was so funny because my dad rolling up in this Cadillac. They're like, "Who's this Cadillac?" They're like, "Oh my God, that Joe Frazier!" Everything. So, but I remember going to college, and it was just very interesting because my dad was just very happy to be able to move in, you know, his
mm,
kid into college and
yeah.
be able to have that moment. And he was just so happy for me just to be, all the hard work has paid off to
It's
get me to
paid
where I'm
off.
at. So
That's
yeah.
beautiful. Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And so your journey has had sounds like a lot of highs and lows. And I think
Yeah.
maybe something that people probably consider a huge high for you was Big Brother. And so for y'all who don't know, Big
Yes.
Brother is a reality TV show. It's one of my faves. It be going, it's like how'd you describe it? Like I always
It's
say
like jail. It's like watching people in jail with a little bit of like, give you some free food and
free slop.
luxury. Yeah, free slop, which I don't think people understand what slop
What
is.
is slop? What is slop?
Um
Because if it were me and I was on slop week, I'd be the skinniest I've ever been. I'm not eating that.
oh baby, I lost so much weight after Big Brother, but baby, that thing came right back quickly. But slop is like hard yolk, like hard oats. They're hard, and you got to soak them. So let's say you're on slop. So like I'm hungry that day, I gotta wait until the next day until they soak overnight to get soft. Yeah, it's horrible. I would take boiling rice from Survivor any freaking day, any
Oh
day.
my gosh. Okay, so jail apparently. I always tell people it's like Survivor,
So
but
I would say it's a
inside.
mixture of what's a jail? What's the thing called jail where like you still have luxury? Something like the celebrities go to, like Martha
Oh,
Stewart.
like famous people jail. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay.
famous people jail. Let's put it
Fair.
like that because there's times that they lock down the place. Like we would sit in the house sometimes for 2 weeks, not seeing the outside, nothing, just in the house the
Wait,
whole entire time.
really? There are times you couldn't go
Yes,
outside in the house?
yes. We don't have the luxury of the backyard all the time.
Why
No.
is that? Would they be like setting up?
There was times they had to set up, or there's like times that I think they also did it just to like make sure we're playing the game. Like they add
Hmm.
intention. We're on top of each other. There's nowhere to really run. Like we're on top
Hmm.
of each other. It's a lot. It's a
That's
lot.
insane. And like,
And it mentally messes with you. Like people don't get it. Like I always say, Survivor is hard physically. I
yep,
could believe it could be mentally, but physically, I know it's hard. Big Brother mentally is a whole nother game changer, but Big Brother will definitely let you realize what's wrong with
up
you,
there. Yeah.
what you need to work on, and make you work on those things afterwards. Not just
Hmm.
it, you might work on it during the time of the house, but it's the afterwards part that you really gotta sit there and be like, oh,
Well, that's what I want to talk about. So after you come out the house,
yeah.
and y'all, if you want to learn more about his Big Brother journey, there's plenty of interviews. But I feel like a lot of people don't talk about the aftermath. You know, people
Oh,
think you come out, you're hot, you get all these deals, you go, 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 go. But I feel like two things. One, I think you go back to your phone. You're seeing all these comments, you're seeing all this stuff online. Your life has happened. Life didn't stop just because you were somewhere else. What was that like mentally readjusting to your new normal?
I've said this before. I think me doing Big Brother definitely put a wedge in my friendships, and I think
Mm,
longevity, as you can see, like I told you, I lost a group of friends. Um, and I think that started from me doing Big Brother. I think
mm,
it's hard because when you become this reality star, now keep in mind, Jordan, in case people don't know, I done reality TV before. I don't like to talk
mm.
about it, but I did MTV. But that was my way of trying to open the door to try because I really wanted to do real world. That was always my dream. I wanted to do real world, real world.
Oh, we love real world.
Yeah, I wanted to do reality TV. I was always the
Yeah,
actor. Dad knew I always like entertaining. I was the dancer, the actor. He's known that his whole entire life.
yeah.
But to go back to Big Brother, when you come out, you're not Derek no more from North Philadelphia. You're Big D, you're Big Brother, you've been on reality TV. You also did this historic season. You put together this historic alliance. You
Yep.
you came in second place. You done all this stuff, okay? So now when you go out and you do stuff, people are stopping you. They're talking to you. They want to take pictures with you. They're all like, "Oh my God." And then you have your friends, they're just kind of like, always got to be the person to hold the camera or always like,
Oh,
oh, like,
interesting.
and you can tell that over like when you're in this type of limelight, they might not understand it, but now they're starting to feel like, I don't know if I really want to go out with you because I don't want to deal with, you being Big D.
Wow.
or being supportive. And over the course of the time, that could be tiring to your friends and the people around you. But I realized if they really do care about you, they will understand that. But I don't think
Mm.
that's the case sometimes. Some people
Mm.
sometimes be in the shadows waiting for your downfall and then be there when your downfall happens. Like, oh, see, I told you you should never. And that
Right.
happens. But when you come out of the Big Brother house, so much has changed. I remember coming home, Jordan. I had friend groups that were not friends no more. I
Wow.
was so like, whoa, no, we need to work this out because I have a system here.
Right,
Um,
right, right.
I remember coming home, there's plenty of bills that got to be paid. Plenty of bills. Somebody had to pay your bills for 4 months.
Mm.
Okay. Plenty of
Wow.
bills that got to be paid. Um, there's a whole dynamic that changes. So then
Yeah.
when you come out the Big Brother house, you feel the pressure of this thing, Instagram, social media, keeping up, traveling, making sure you're taking pictures with so and so, doing
Exactly.
content,
Tag this
doing
person. Yeah.
doing this, doing that. So you're spending money, but there's not a lot of money coming in. You
And
might
why
have a
is that? Because I feel like people would think, you have all these deals. Is it
because
because you're
Jordan,
bound by a contract?
no, but here's the thing. CBS put you in this contract for 2.5 years when you do Big Brother. So that means you can't do nothing that is outside of CBS. You can get approval, but you can't do they're not gonna let you do another network. So let's say I'm hot, fresh off the block, ready to go. Sidebar. I was supposed to do Bad Boys Club on Zeus
No
Network.
way.
Yes. But Natalie was like, once I told her about my contract, she was like,
I'm not waiting for that.
I'm not waiting for that. I ain't got time for that. So I was
Wow.
supposed to do Bad Boys. So then, you're hot, you're fresh off the market. Everybody wants you. Everybody, boop, boop, boop. But it's like, I can't put you on another show when you're hot because
Oh.
you're in this contract. So then you're sitting in La La Land, like waiting, hoping, oh, CBS comes out with the challenge, USA. They're talking about, oh, we're gonna leave in November. I'm like, oh my God, I just got home. It's
Mm.
October, that's holiday time. I'm like, no, I can't do that. Next thing you notice, they decide to move it, never call you. So you're like, well, I would have done it if you guys would have did it in February. You
If
didn't
you,
tell me.
right,
So
right.
there goes my opportunity. Then it's like you're waiting for something else to come. And
Mm.
it's like there's nothing being done. And the thing about it, I'm very thankful for the CBS family, but the issue is that they don't have a revolving door for players to come back and play again. And
Mm.
it's like now we're now in a rotation. In case you haven't noticed, Jordan, I know you said you
Yeah, I be
watch
peeping.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. We're now in a rotation where CBS is producing all these new players, and now these other networks are picking them up
Yes.
and recycling their fans, which is smart, which
Mm.
CBS is not doing, which is not so smart.
Yep.
Okay. Um,
Absolutely.
but when you come out, you might make some money off of cameos. I sold some fans. I did some fans, made some money off
Please
of
hold
my
the fan up. What does the fan say? I said to emote. Okay, if
yes,
y'all are unfamiliar, I'll insert the clip here. But yes,
yes.
okay.
So I made a couple money off of fans and had a couple cameos, but maybe a couple branding deals here and there. But the thing about it is that might last for your first year out the house, couple months. After that, it's done.
It's
So it's like,
done.
how else are you going to make your money?
Mm.
So now, you're also not working. You're like your first year, unless you have a job that was like, oh, you can come right back as soon as you get
Right.
done.
Which
I was looking for a job. So when people think like, oh my God, you came in you come in second place, you won so much money, baby. Taxes took half of it. Okay.
half.
Tech, tech, half of it. Guess what? I'm still paying on it. I'll tell you that, Jordan. I'm still paying on it. Half of it. Yep. Half of it. Then, of course, I want to give back to single mothers. So gave some money to
Mm.
single mothers, paid my mother back, gave her some. My
Mm.
friends at the time that I cared about, paid them some money because they ran my
Wow.
social media, gave them a
Oh.
nice little check. Okay. Because I care about my friends. Even my friends around me, I gave them some money, bought me some things, took care of myself a little bit. And then by the time you know it, it's like I'm paying rent. I ain't got no job. My rent is a good thousand something dollars.
Literally.
So
Literally.
that's a whole year and a half of no no job when you're looking for one. You also need a
Yeah.
job remote because you got to be able to still continue
Exactly.
your other side life that you're doing. So then it's like you finally find a job, but guess what? That money gone. That money was gone.
Oh
Traveling,
man.
going to also keeping up with the Big Brother people, going to LA, going to Florida, doing this,
Because you have
doing
to show face and do these
you have to
appearances.
show face. All
Mm.
these parties, stuff like that. People think when we go to these premiere parties, we're getting paid. We're not getting paid for these watch parties. We're
Mm.
going for the sake of to show face and give you guys the opportunity to meet us and praying that when you meet us, you'll give us a follow so then we can build up the following so then we can get those branding deals. That's what when people
Wow.
are like, hey, follow me on this, follow me on this, because it's all about trying to get a branding deal because branding people will give you a deal based on your
And
followers,
your engagement and all that.
your
Yeah.
engagement and stuff like that. That's where that's come from. So yeah, it's a lot that
Interesting.
people don't understand. And then mentally, you're going through a lot of changes, Jordan, a lot of changes.
Yeah,
Mentally, you're
absolutely.
dealing with conversations or things that happen in the house, and you're trying to build your relationship. You're also trying to make sure people understand who you are. Like,
Mhm.
I had to do a lot of healing process with two of my beautiful friends that I call like my best friends now in the house based on things that I said and things that I did and things like that because it was a game. And also when you're in that game, the game can crack you mentally. It
Yep.
breaks you in half. It makes you forget sometimes that there's
The
cameras
camera.
here. You just be like to the cameras or just oh, I forgot. Oh, like because you're there for such a long time. So it's a lot.
Exactly.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
There's just this thought I always think about. People, um, let me actually not say the name of the show, but people often ask me if I'll go on the name of the show. And
Oh, I think I know what show you're
you know
talking
what I'm
about.
talking about. I'll tell you
Because
that.
everybody wants me to do it. I put a casting tape in, but I don't think they're going to call me for it.
You kind of hinted at it, but like when you leave a show, I feel like oftentimes after a year, you're known as so and so from that show, so and so from The Circle, so and so from Big Brother.
Mhm.
And you're defined by that thing, or people try to define you by that one show.
Yeah.
But when I think about taking it back to your dad
Yeah.
is known as the man who silenced Muhammad Ali, but he didn't let that one moment define his whole career. Same with you.
No,
Big Brother does not define who you
it's
are,
not.
your career. And I even read this quote, I'll have to find it, but this one Olympian this year, she was like, someone told me, don't let the Olympics be the most interesting thing about you. Like, how do we expand and grow? And so I guess my last question for you is for everyone watching that feels like they're defined by just one thing, or even maybe like advice to you growing up, maybe
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
11-year
Yeah.
old you, what would you say? How do you stretch
Oh.
beyond the limits of being, defined by a very limited view?
I will tell you this. Don't let that one thing define you. I want to give you that one advice. Um, I always wanted to do reality TV. I always wanted to be a reality TV star. I grew
Mm,
up on reality TV. I fell in love with Tiffany
mm.
Pollard in New
Oh,
York
of
and
course.
Nikki Leaks and all the black women that put reality TV on its
On the
backing
map.
on the map. Okay, so I
Hmm.
always want to do it. But the one thing I will say is this: don't let that define you. I remember when I kept auditioning for stuff. I remember I did MTV. That was a wing MTV made. I was so excited. I thought it was going to be the branch of my career. I was like,
Mm,
oh, I'm going to blow up.
mm,
That didn't happen. Maybe
yeah.
like 1%. Then I go and do Big Brother and I'm like, oh, I'm really going to blow up. They're going to see me. They're going to give me my own show. They're going to do all this. That didn't happen.
Mm,
But the one thing I learned is I never let it stop me. I kept redefining myself. Me going through this, I guess it's a rebrand or redefining, I guess I can call it, is more for myself, but it's
mm,
also to let people know that I'm always going to keep stepping on these people's necks. I'm staying on top of them. Don't think that you can ever count me down. When you tell me no, that motivates me more. When you tell me,
mm,
oh, not at this time, or we don't need you, or we'll call you when we need you, and stuff like, no, that just means I'm gonna keep on going because if
mm,
I keep on going, something else is gonna come and it's gonna be bigger than the next and bigger than the next and bigger than the next. I won't
mm.
stop until my eyes close and the Lord tells me it's time for me to go.
Yeah.
So I tell people to just keep on going and don't let that one thing, make you
Yeah.
bet yourself. And my dad was a boxer, and the one thing about it, he was the heavyweight champion of the world. He was the greatest of one of the greats of all time. Okay, a boy from South Carolina, Beaufort, South Carolina, who had a dream to be a fighter, who wanted to be the champion of the world, made his dreams come true. And there's plenty of times that my dad got knocked down, got his ass kicked, and kept on going. So that's
Mm,
what keeps me going, because I believe in, if you're breathing and you can still get up and you can still do things, do it. Even if
mm,
you are, I think about the athletes in the Olympics. You got athletes in the Olympics that are doing great. You got athletes that are disabled that are still doing stuff.
mm.
So what am I, who has two arms, two legs, and everything else? I can't get up and do something where somebody who might have one arm is doing way better than me. Got to keep
Yeah.
on going. Those are
Yeah.
motivation. So I just look at things that don't ever, because if you're related to someone famous, don't think that you have to go and do what they want to go do. I got to be a singer. I got to be a dancer. I got to be a fighter. I got to be a basketball player. I got to be this because they did this.
Mm,
No, you do something for yourself, but when you're doing that, you can still keep that person's legacy alive. So
mm.
me being Big D, Derek Frazier, reality star, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Allows people to understand, to still know who Joe Frazier is. Oh, that's Joe Frazier's son. Let me go do some research. Oh,
Mm.
wow. Let me teach my kids about who this great fighter
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, is keeping the legacy. And one thing my sister said, rest in peace, I lost my sister last year.
Oh, I'm
She was really
sorry.
the glue that kept us all together, which as
Mm.
you can tell, falling apart.
I'm so
Um,
sorry.
but my sister, Weeda Collins, she had this, this foundation which was called Legacy Exists. And she called it that because she was trying to say, like, the legacy exists in all of us. So you
Mm.
just had to remember that when you have a famous relative, but also, even if your parents or someone's not famous, they have a legacy. So
Yes.
continue the legacy within yourself, but make it your own. So that's what
Mm.
I did. I took something and made it my own, but I still, at the end of the day, know how to come back and be like, let's talk about my dad for
Yeah.
sure. Or
Yeah.
if you want to talk about Big D, I'm here to talk about that too. But I'm just going to keep remodeling and rebranding myself and keep on doing more, because I'm not the same person I was 3 years ago. Big D coming out
Mm.
the house, a lot of issues. The Big D earlier this year going through depression and obesity and all this other stuff that I'm dealing with. Different person than I am now. So you just have to keep on going.
That's
That's why I would like
beautiful.
to tell the viewers. So I would like to share with everybody. And
Yes.
if you don't have somebody that you believe in somebody, or if there's somebody that you have, if you have any type of faith or whatever you believe in, whether religious or faith or whatever, just make sure you put that power with them and let them guide you to where you need to be at. Straight up.
Amen. In Jesus' name, amen. That's a prayer. Thank you
Okay.
so much for that.
Jordan, thank you. This was
You are
so
so
much
wonderful.
fun.
Oh my gosh. You had fun? I had
I
fun.
had fun. I had fun. We could have kept on going. You were really about to get the real. I was like, I'm already spilling a lot. She about to get even more out of me. I need to shut up before I get in trouble.
Look, I'm trying to make sure you keep these deals, honey. No, thank
Yeah,
you so much for coming on. I hope y'all learned so much. Like, we'll have to
yeah.
bring you back, Big D, but I
Please,
just
please.
really, I just am so inspired by how you're empowering yourself. And by doing that, you're empowering others. So we'll tag your socials so people can follow along and
Please.
see, what's going on. Drop him a follow, y'all, so we can get these
Yes.
deals, honey.
He's still.
Yay! Thank you so much, Derek, for coming on. You are an absolute star. I have been following Derek, y'all, since truly Big Brother. And so, such an honor to have him on. And vulnerability is really your superpower. And I feel like he embodies that so well. So, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I'm so happy to be back here with you. If you enjoyed, make sure to give it a like, comment what you loved, comment what you want more of, who you want to see. And a subscribe is never going to hurt y'all. But either way, I really appreciate you. I love you. You are more than enough as you are. Cheers to you. Mwah. Bye, y'all. Derek, do you want to be called Big D, or can I call you Derek?
Yeah,
Like, what's
yeah,
the.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm cool with Big D, Derek, whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with.
Period. I
Whatever
feel
you
like we're
want.
besties already, so I'm going to call you Big D.
Oh, for sure, Jordan. For
Okay,
sure.
great. Purr.